Because there was a time when animals were able to speak like humans are doing today, I feel, and it's never been discussed, it's never been talked about like this. But what I feel is that the serpent had eaten of the fruit of good and evil first and had gained that knowledge of good and evil, because that the law and the commandment was only given to man, Adam and Eve. Hello everybody, my name is Kimberly. I go by Profile Bell, that's my artist name, and I have the honor and privilege to bring to you guys a new thought that I don't think has ever been discovered or discussed or addressed in this manner for which I'm about to present to you guys right now. It might even be a little bit geeky to you guys, but hey, stick with me because go away. There's mosquitoes out here. I haven't done a video in a while because I've been just doing my thing and whatever. I was watching a video earlier and it was talking about the Most High and how, you know, Adam and Eve were created, and Eve was created from the side of Adam instead of the rib of Adam. So I thought that was interesting. I love the video very much. I just needed more edification for Selah, which is the Ethiopian word for, he said side, but I googled it, said prayer, so I need more edification on that one. So with that being said, it kind of made my mind go back to when I even had my perspective of the Most High and Adam and Eve, and I kind of felt like, you know, like they were just each passing the blame, right? Going back to where in the Bible is talking about Adam and Eve, you want to reference Genesis 1:27. It says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. The video earlier referenced, or tried to reference, that God had created one being, like pretty much like a hermaphrodite that had both sexes, male and female, but that is not true. In that same day, God created male and female, because it goes on to explain the process that God had done to create female. So it says, chapter 2 verse 19 says, and out of the ground God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. 20. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a help meet for him. 21. And God and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. 22. And the rib which the Lord, I'm getting bit right now. The rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her on to the man. 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. 25, I'll just continue. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Earlier on in the in chapter 2, it talks about how Adam was given the commandment to not eat of the tree of life. It says chapter 2 verse 8, and the Lord God planted a garden eastward of Eden, and there he put man whom he had formed. 9. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And the river ran out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. 16 of chapter 2. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree in the garden thou mayest freely eat. 17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, what up, bro? Thou shalt not eat of. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Okay, that commandment, again, was given to who? Adam. The commandment was given to Adam, not to anybody else. Or to, Adam and Eve, because man, they're of one, right? So Adam and Eve both know not to eat of the garden. Okay, so it says 1:29, Genesis. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is fruitful of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. So that's what I mean. Like, I think the animals, maybe at one point they did talk, because they were very pure. They were without sin and everything like that. I think some laws and commands were given to these animals some kind of way. And it's not even talked about in the Bible. It doesn't go deep like. Okay, so chapter 3, right after 25 of chapter 2. Chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of the tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Ooh, that scared me. 5. For God doth know that in the day ye eat of, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and she did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they saw fig leaves, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Okay, this is before the Most High came. I want to pause right there. So the serpent, just unpacking the story, the serpent was the one who who told Eve that the tree was good to eat, right? So how are serpents able to even talk at this time? Was this a time where animals did speak? And I'm going to say that it can't be so far-fetched, because birds can even speak today. If the serpent was able to speak, and if birds today can still speak, surely there was a time when serpents did speak. All right. Now, the philosophy mindset picks up for me when it comes to all of this that I just read thus far. Okay. So where I'm going is that I think that there was a time that, because there was a time when animals were able to speak like humans are doing today, I feel, and it's never been discussed, it's never been talked about like this. But what I feel is that the serpent had eaten of the fruit of good and evil first, and had gained that knowledge of good and evil, because that the law and the commandment was only given to man, Adam and Eve, to not eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So the serpent, having now knowledge of the fruit, and this is something I was talking to my sister about, Crystal, hey, something I was talking to my sister about, the knowledge of good and evil was given onto the serpent. So the serpent was like, probably just get done eating that, like, dang, that fruit is good, right? And then sees Eve, and he's like, hey, you need to try this. This fruit is good. And she's like, I can't eat of that. And he was like, and she tells him, like, I can't eat of it because I'm going to die. And he's like, girl, please, you're going to be fine. I'm fine. I ate of it. Watch. He gives her, she takes up the tree. She eats and she lives. So she's like, okay, I can't be the only person now realizing, because her eyes are now open. She realizes that she's naked. She realizes good and evil. She's like, dang, I think I was deceived, but I'm not really sure. Right? So she takes and gives it to Adam. He doesn't take of the tree himself. She gives it to Adam. Right? So he now has the opportunity to have this enlightenment that she has. But she's also deceiving him at this time too, because she now knows she wasn't supposed to eat of the tree. And she now has the knowledge of good and evil. So she's like, I can't be the only person that has this knowledge. I gotta have it. I gotta have my man try this tree too. So she gives it to him. He does eat. He knows better than to eat it, but he still eats it because she's like, bro, let me tell you, when you have someone that like taste something good, you like, oh, you gotta try, this is so good. He's like, what? All right, I'm gonna try it. So he tries it, knowing also that the Most High told him not to, because Adam and Eve are one. He doesn't want her to be alone in this. He's like, okay, you took of it, all right, cool. And this is before he ate. He's like, I don't want her to be alone. Oh, she's my second half. Okay, of course, I'll eat with you. He eats the fruit. His mind changes. They're like, okay, we're naked now. Let's cover up. Let's cover up because we hear God calling for us. Oh God, let's hide. He knows what we did. He knows. He already knows what they did. He probably already seen it. Eating popcorn. Like, what are they doing down there? Can't they see? I already see what they're doing. God is up there laughing like, wow, I can't believe that happened. How I should have gave the commandment to the serpent too. I should have gave that commandment to the animals too, not knowing, like, dang, okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. He comes down and sees them. Okay, so 8. And they heard the voice of Lord God, walking in the garden in the cool of the day. He's just chilling, like. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? He already knows where he is. 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. 11. And he said, and this is chapter 3. And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And this is where it gets funny to me. 12. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave of the tree, and I did eat. So, okay, at first he's like, oh, we're one and the same. She's of me, woman. We're one. Of course I'll eat with you. Knowing that the Most High told him not to. But now, after he ate, he has a knowledge of good and evil. He's like, she beguiled me. She fooled me. It was her fault. She told me to eat. So funny. Sorry, this is how my brain works when I'm reading this. It's just hilarious. Like, oh my God, how dare you point the blame on this woman? No, they're all wrong. They're all wrong. And the Lord, 13, and the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me and I did eat. So now she's like, Adam's pointing at Eve, Eve's pointing at the serpent. The serpent's like, hey, I just was enjoying a snack. What the heck did I do? I just thought it was tasty. What? I wasn't trying to beguile you, girl. I was just trying to tell you it was good. I'm just kidding. All right, and 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, and thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. 16. So after that, there was no more serpents, I guess, standing upright at the time. He's down, crawling on the ground, and still like a serpent. But maybe, I don't know, eating all the dust of the ground, it says here. I really don't know what to say about this part, other than, I mean, it is what it is. So I accidentally ran out of storage on my phone earlier when I was recording, but to wrap up the message, the serpent was deceiving Eve. Eve did deceive Adam, and Adam actually deceived the Most High by pointing the blame back to Eve. And Eve blamed the serpent and kind of just went in a loop. God seen everything and was like, I'm aware of everything. It is actually the serpent's fault. So all of them actually were cursed in a certain manner. Both Eve and Adam were removed from the garden, and the serpent had to live forever on its belly. Oh, hey, Mom. So that is the wrap up of the video. Hope you learned a lot. Hopefully I opened up a new perspective in that. I was kind of joking around a little bit, but to be honest, who knew if the serpent was just like, I just was eating of the fruit? Now, the serpent had gained the knowledge of evil and of good by just eating it and seeing Eve and was like, maybe she's interested in eating this too. You know, because it had this new knowledge that it never had before, possibly. So this is just a theory, throwing it out there for everyone to, you know, kind of think about and expand your mind a little bit on something new. So have a good day, and thank you so much for your time. Bye.